The Lives of the Saints by the Reverend Alban Butler, taken from the 4th edition, published in 1954. February 28th. Saints Romanus and Lupicinus, abbots. Romanus, at 35 years of age, left his relations and spent some time in the monastery of Ainai, called in Latin Athanasius, at Lyon, at the great church at the conflux of the Saône and Rhône, which the faithful had built over the ashes of the famous martyrs of that city. For their bodies being burnt by the pagans, their ashes were thrown into the Rhône, but a great part of them was gathered by the Christians and deposited in this place. Romanus, a short time after, took with him the institutions and conferences of Cassian, and retired into the forests of Mount Jura, between France and Switzerland, and fixed his abode at a place called Condat, at the conflux of the rivers Bienne and Allier, where he found a spot of ground fit for culture, and some trees which furnished him with a kind for his substance. Lupicinus, his brother, came to him some time after, in company with others, who were followed by several more, drawn by the fame of the virtue and miracles of these two saints. Here they built the monastery of Condat, and their numbers increasing, that of Lucion, 2 miles distant to the north, and on a rock a nunnery called La Bohème, now Saint Romain de la Roche, which no men were allowed ever to enter, and where Saint Romanus chose his burial place. The brothers governed the monks jointly, and in great harmony. Though Lupicinus was more inclined to severity of the two, he usually resided at Lucion, with 150 monks. The brethren at Condat, when they were enriched with many lands, changed their diet, which was only bread made of barley and bran and pulse, dressed often without salt or oil, and brought to table wheat, bread, fish, and variety of dishes. Lupicinus, being informed hereof by Romanus, came to Condat on the 6th day after this innovation, and corrected the abuse. The abstinence which he prescribed his monks was milder than that practiced by the Oriental monks, and by those of Lerins, partly because the Gauls were naturally great eaters, and partly because they were employed in very hard manual labor. But they never touched fowls or any flesh meat, and only were allowed milk and eggs in time of sickness. Lupicinus, for his own part, used no other bed than a chair or a hard board, never touched wine, and would scarce ever suffer a drop either of oil or milk to be poured on his pulse. In summer his subsistence for many years was only hard bread moistened in cold water, so that he could eat it with a spoon. His tunic was made of various skins of beasts sewn together with a cowl. He used wooden shoes and wore no stockings unless when he was obliged to go out of the monastery. St. Romanus died about the year 460, and is mentioned in the Roman Martyrology on the 28th of February. St. Lupicinus survived him almost 20 years, and is honored in the Roman Martyrology on the 21st of March. He was succeeded in the abbacy of Condat by Minatius, who, in 480, chose St. Eugundus his coadjutor.